Hello and welcome to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to make the 5th outside the box card using elements from the October 2021 paper pumpkin kit called Peaceful Christmas. I am using one of the card bases from the kit. I'm using one of the red banners from the kit and the From Our Home to Yours stamp, all from the kit. I'm adding in some Holiday Rhinestone basic jewels and some baker's twine or linen thread from one of the previous paper pumpkin kits. What I've done with this is I used my paper trimmer as a scoring tool, and I scored 4 lines down this way and 4 lines across this way. I'm not sure if you can actually see the dimension in there. I really like it, but when you first look at it, it's very, very plain. So I thought I'd try the demo just slightly different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to get my paper trimmer and set it up. I'm just going to stand up so I can see if the paper trimmer is actually in range here so that you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I've got a Cherry Cobbler card base, and I've got a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white. So I'm just going to move my cutter all the way to the top so I don't actually cut the corner of this off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in to the 1/2 inch line. So I'm using the right hand side of my paper trimmer to measure. I'm coming in 1/2 inch, and then I'm coming in another 1/4 to make it 3/4 of an inch. And I'm scoring. And then I'm turning it, and I'm doing that again, 1/2 inch in, and then 3/4 of an inch in. What I'm doing is creating a frame around the edge of the card. So 1/2 inch in and 3/4 of an inch in. And then we're going to come back this side again, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. So what that does is it gives us a nice border all the way around the edge, just that little bit of detail. So as I said, I'm doing this one slightly differently than I did the example card. The example card I did 4 and 4 and offset it. This one I'm doing in the middle. So I think what I'm also going to do is I'm going to make this tree piece slightly bigger. So if I look at this, between these 2 lines is 2.5 inches this way, and between these 2 lines here is 4 inches. So if I make it 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, I just need to write that down. So it's 2 3/4. No, see, I should measure this I should write it down while I'm talking. Okay, so this is 2.5. So if I do this at 2 1/4 by, and this is by almost 4. So if I do it at 3 3/4, let's see what that looks like. It might be a little big, but we can always trim it down. Now I want the tree to be part of the primary focus. So I need this to be 3 3/4 long. So I'm just going to pop this in here. And as I say, I want the tree, so I'm going to cut it a little bit long here. But then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to cut it to 3 3/4. And then I need to cut it to 2 1/4 on the inside, or on this side. So I'm going to pop it to here and spin this around and cut it to 2 1/4, like that. All right, so, and these pieces, don't throw them away because you can use them to decorate other cards. You can put them all together and make a panel. So let's just see how that fits. And it is a little bit too big. I need to take another 1/4 inch off of it. So better to cut it long and then take some off. But what you're seeing here in this video is honestly the process that I go through when I create a card to work out what all the details of it are. Okay, so that fits in between the trim or the scoring really well. You can pop this up on dimensionals if you want to. I have dimensionalized the greeting, so I'm not actually going to dimensionalize this. I'm just going to pop it straight in. And you'll probably see my hair because I need to line this up between the score lines here. There we go. Okay, so that's the center of the card. And I just did the one piece down the side with a bow on it. And for this example, I'm thinking that I'm going to do one like that, and one like that, and then a bow in the top so it looks like a present. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive across there, and then across the top corner. Don't need any in the bottom corner because I'm not actually going to have any the baker's twine or linen thread, whatever you want to call it. And I need to decide if I'm going to put it in the grooves, and I think I am going to put it in between the score lines. So I'm just going to wrap that around. Sorry, I keep going out of frame. Okay, so that wraps like that. And then I'm going to take this piece, which is my longer piece. I want my longer piece for the bow because I can't tie bows worth a darn. So we're just going to pop this on like this so it's in the middle. Like I say, what you're watching is actually the process that I go through when I make a card. It's like, let's try this and see what happens. Let's try that and see what happens. So I knew this one would pretty much work out because I've already done the samples. So I'm just going to run some more adhesive across this. And you can cut off your long pieces if you want. And then I'm just going to center this on the front like this, pop it down. There we go. And I need my greeting banner, which I'm going to put across the bottom like that. I used mini dimensionals on the back of this, but you can use the regular dimensionals will fit. But I just used the minis. And I need to take that off. Just going to pop this across the bottom. And again, I apologize, you're going to get my hair in the frame because I want to line this up so that I'm straight with the score lines. There we go. And then I'm going to tie my bow in the top corner like it's a present. So I'm just going to lift this up like that and tie this, whoops, like this. And then I'll make my bow, and I can, like I say, I can just trim my ends off. Okay, let's do this bow and let's make it work this time. There we go. So that's the bow. I'm just going to pull the ends through so that my bow is the size I want it to be. And then I'm just going to give it a tug to snug it up, trim off my extra piece, and then I'm going to grab my basic jewels, and I need to decide where to put them. I think maybe I'm going to put them down. I'm going to put 3 of them here in this panel right here between the score marks. So scoring it adds that little element of detail. It's subtle, but it is quite effective. So I'm just going to pop that like that. Put one more like that. Nice thing about the take your pick tool is you can push it. If you don't get it lined up perfectly the first time, you can just give it a push. So there we go. We could put 3 across here as well, and I think I'm actually going to do that. I think it needs a bit of balance. So I'm just going to pop these ones down like this and like that and like that. So there we go. There is our card finished. Thank you very much for your patience while I walked you through my creative process. I hope you've enjoyed this, and let's create together again soon.